My name is Joanne Morris and I'm Consultant Clinical Scientist. So my specialty is Clinical Biochemistry. In Clinical Biochemistry we diagnose and manage disease in patients by analysing body fluids. So we mostly look at the fluid part of blood, but we also look at urine and spinal fluid and sometimes even saliva. We test for numerous things. We look for proteins, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, and what we do is we look at the patterns of the test results to tell us why a patient is feeling unwell.
Bring me the patient details, I'll have a look and see if they've got any previous.
I think we provide really vital information that help doctors make diagnosis of disease in patients. It's really important because that allows them to make sure that patients receive the correct treatment. We also do things like we do tests that help doctors decide if a patient is well enough to receive treatment and also if that treatment is effective. So for example, patients who are undergoing chemotherapy. The laboratory can also provide results very quickly and that allows doctors in critical situations where patients are acutely unwell to act quickly and save lives.
Hello, my name is Joanne Morris. I'm calling from the Pathology department at the Whittington Hospital. I have some critically abnormal results on a patient.
We're very much a support and advisory service for medical professionals. So we will do things like we will look at patterns of results and we look for particular patterns that help with diagnosing a patient's illness. So one particular case that's stuck in my mind is a number of years ago I had a very high potassium result on a patient at about 7 o'clock on a Friday evening. It was a patient from a GP and the GP surgery was closed. It took me about an hour of phoning round to find an on-call doctor that was able to take the result. So a high potassium will affect how your heart beats, it affects the electrical rhythms in your heart and it can be extremely dangerous and life-threatening. So the doctor phoned for an ambulance for the patient and as the patient was coming into A&E they actually had a cardiac event in the ambulance. Had they not been in the ambulance they wouldn't have survived and I found out about this because the patient's daughter actually phoned the lab on Monday morning to thank me because her father lived on his own and he couldn't let survive. So I work in a blood sciences department, so that includes clinical biochemistry, haematology and blood transfusion. In biochemistry there's myself and one other clinical scientist. We have 3 haematology doctors and about 26 biomedical scientist staff and about 30 medical laboratory assistants, so we're quite a large team.
Generally we would be talking about patient samples, results that have come through that are abnormal.
The favourite bit of my job, I've probably got 2 favourite bits of my job actually. So teaching, I love teaching, I find that really rewarding and really interesting and you always learn something as you teach other people. And I also enjoy the clinical interaction, so talking to doctors, particularly when they've got a difficult patient that they've spent a lot of time trying to work out what's wrong with them, and they'll talk to you and suddenly you get that light bulb moment where you realise exactly what's wrong with that patient and you can then suggest a test that will make a final diagnosis.
The light come round and do something on in a minute.
So I've got a young family and I've worked flexibly since my eldest child was born. I think the NHS is generally a family-friendly employer and I'm very fortunate that I've had senior colleagues during my training who've been very supportive in allowing me to continue my career and I get a good amount of time at home with my family and with my children. So I'm a very passionate advocate of the NHS. I think the fact that this country has a healthcare system which is free at the point of access to everybody is a really important thing, and I think it's a real privilege to be able to do a job that helps people. And I love the fact that I learn something new every day and no 2 days are ever the same.